So there's two types of goals. There's one type of goal is coming from a place of, I don't have what I want, I'm going to get it. So that's inherently fixing something, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with goals that fix something, but they are sort of self-referential back to a negative. So it's better if you're articulating a goal, if you want to have joy in the process of the goal, to actually find out what that thing is that you're moving towards. It's always better to run to something than to run away from something. So if you find in your goal, as you look at it and review it, that it may be fixing a lack, at a minimum, you want to articulate it in a way so that you're moving into something that you want. Because that's going to give you more juice. And maximally, you want it to be aligned with your deepest values and your deepest passions and your deepest inspirations. Oh, there's two types of goals. So there's a goal in which we're experiencing lack, okay, and we want to change it. We want to fix it, right? That inherently refers back to the lack. So when you're moving towards that goal, sort of in the back of your mind is lack, getting rid of lack, getting rid of lack. So it's always refers back to it. So if you can stop, you can cut that reference back to it by stating it in terms of, like instead of saying, I want less conflict in my relationship, you say, I want harmony. Not just harmony. Because harmony is almost referential to conflict. It's I want passion, I want life, I want union, I want connection, whatever. So whatever mentally you need to do to cut that connection, that reference point to the lack, in the way you articulate your goal is going to move you mentally in your mental ecosystem, which we're just barely going to touch on today because it's a whole world into itself, is the part that you want to move into. Does that make sense? I'm going to read through all of the basic principles of setting goals in a powerful way. Okay, so make it positive and inspiring. So this is a very important concept. So you can make it, so I said be conservative, right? You can make a giant goal. You can make your goal being to become the president of the United States, or to transform the monetary system of planet Earth. If you can make that goal, but if you want to be related to reality about that goal, then your ecosystem of support, your social ecosystem has to match that goal in intensity and effectiveness. Because you can't do that alone. Nobody's ever done anything great alone. So you've got to align yourself with the people and the world that's going to make that happen. So I'm all for making great goals, but don't delude yourself into thinking that you're going to do that with your willpower or with your intelligence or with your skills. You're not. You're going to do it with aligning yourself in a world that is going to call that out. You can hold the vision, but that vision is only going to occur if all of your support structure calls it out. Okay. So we already talked about being specific, time conservative, and stretching. Failing forward like Edison, we got that. And this is an important component. We're sort of talking around it, but I want to say it as a concrete principle. Put as much energy into your support structure as taking action on your goal. I'm going to repeat that. This is critical. Put as much energy into your support structure as taking action on your goal. It is the support structure, it is the ecosystem that makes a redwood thrive, that makes a salmon thrive. It is not the salmon's desire to have food. It's everything in the world that makes it possible. So work on the structure. Work on everything that's going to support you. And primarily, that's going to be your social structure. That's going to be the people that you relate to. And that'll be the next thing we'll talk about. So we've already talked about visualizing in detail. So the importance of visualization, there's a great sports coach. I don't know exactly the quote, but it says something like, he says he coaches professional athletes. He said, visualization for athletes, professional, world-class athletes, is only important if you want to win. So it literally, nobody who wins as an athlete or in life doesn't visualize themselves first in that goal. So whether you do it on purpose or you just accidentally picked up along the way the habit of visualizing yourself doing something. You know, one of our friends, Dave, like I was talking to him about this, and he's really good at detail-oriented stuff and sort of mid-level stuff. And I was talking about it one day, and he was telling me, like, oh yeah, I always see myself doing those things beforehand. And that thought had never occurred to me. I always tried to visualize myself out like, you know, conquering the world, doing all those great things I wanted to do, but I never visualized myself actually taking the steps. You know, that was what I had to learn in my process, was to bring and connect those pieces together. Okay. Plan for overcoming roadblocks. That was the next thing that we were probably going to do in the workbook. So, roadblocks occur. This brings me also to affirmations. So affirmations are powerful in the sense that as long as you create them in a way that you're not trying to define how you're going to feel while you're doing it. So this is interesting because you can have a goal of feeling supported, right? Or whatever your goals are, feeling like empowered to solve problems. But inside of that goal, on those inner state goals, you have to have the affirmation of your goal is, I have what it takes to follow through, to find that place of ease, or to find that place of fulfillment in myself. But along the way, whatever's going to come up is going to come up. So whether your goal is being ease, or fulfillment, or being problem solving and positive, all of the other stuff you have to allow that to come up and learn from it. So the affirmation is, I have what it takes to get to that internal state and to that external goal.